Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Coming to you live from the outskirts of the internet. This is the Gaming Saloon for June 30th, 2017. With your host, Spaceburger2448, and Wrap It Up Salon.
Hi.
Hey, we got a normal TTS show after all sorts of E3. Ugh.
All sorts of E3 nonsense.
Mm-hmm. Oh boy. It's nice to be back to having something normal, but still having very confusing things that I hope certain people do the smart thing. Looking at you, Nintendo, considering a certain little box you're putting out, or another little box you're putting out for the Christmas season.
That
Just
will
saying.
be understocked, just like the first.
And it's going to be super suck in that case, too, because of a thing on there.
Yeah.
That I'm at least interested in.
That's okay, though. People will reverse engineer it. Don't worry.
But yeah, but before we get to all that fun stuff, Tommy, what have you been playing since? I'm gonna say E3 ish. Ish.
Well, Mario Kart 8 and ARMS.
Mm-hmm.
And today I've been picking up Breath of the Wild a little bit more because of the DLC.
Yeah, you and I were talking about it and watching Tom Fox play it before the stream, so.
The Trials of the Sword is going to be a super uphill battle no matter how good you are at the game.
Mm. Yeah, when I get a Switch and Breath of the Wild I get Breath of the Wild, oh boy, is my backlog gonna get bigger, because I realize properly doing up my backloggery account, there's 21 games I want to complete. Or I would say complete. Want to beat to some extent. Because 2 of the games on there I've already beaten, which is Persona 5 and Kingdom Hearts 2. But for KH2, I want to beat the data fights in Terra. And for Persona, I want to get the all S-Link completion on it. Like, I'm not going to get every weapon and every Persona in the game. I might get it because it'll be easy to do that where I'm at, because I could just grind out the levels and just mix as necessary, because I have a fusion guide that tells me exactly what I need to fuse certain personas. The only problem is I need to be like 90 something or have a shit ton of cash. Because normally you can't fuse a persona that's above your level. But if you get the ability from the wardens that allows you to pay to get that persona, you can. Except it's a shit ton of money. I think it's like 10K to get a persona that might be 2 levels above you. Like, it's a lot. Like, I expect when I get all of the things for Satin Isle, which is your ultimate persona, your character's ultimate persona, I expect to check to see how much it would be. I assume it's going to be like 1,000,000 yen. And I'm like, I've never had 1,000,000 yen ever in a Persona game. I've had in the 6 digits of yen, especially right now, since I believe it's the Persona 3 DLC costumes. They give you an accessory that multiplies the yen you get out of battles per accessory you have equipped, I think. I think it's how it works. I'm not sure. But essentially, I'm earning a lot of yen because my entire party is equipped with this and my non-party members, and I think it all counts for that. So right now, I think I might be getting 10K per battle in Egypt. I think. I'd have to go back and check. Yeah, those are the only 2 games I've beaten that I want to do. The rest of them are games I haven't beat yet, but I want to beat. And oh boy, is it big. And I haven't even put Persona 3 FES on there. I should do that as well. Should put that Inokami in there just to be like, all right, let me just put all the games I want to beat that are on my shelf at the moment. But what else have you been playing?
Oh, there's something else, but I can't think of it right offhand.
You've been playing Galaxy, because I caught the video you uploaded.
Oh yeah, I did pick that up again. Every time that I play a Wii game, I remember how I really dislike the way that the motion controls get functioned into it.
Yeah.
Because it's not needed. It really isn't.
Mm-hmm.
You could just as easily set up the motion part in a button.
Yeah, because what do you use motion for in Galaxy? You have to use motion to pick up the star bits.
You don't have to. You can walk into them just like a coin.
But for the ones that you're flying past, you have to use the pointer.
But if they didn't program them that way, then you wouldn't ever have to worry about that.
True. Isn't there a spin move that you use motion controls for?
Yeah. That you could just as easily put in a button.
Mm-hmm.
Because the spin's either you're spinning or not.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah. That's the only problem I've got with it. Otherwise, motion controls fine either way.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know.
Anything else?
Yep. One Finger Death Punch. I picked it up on Steam.
Ooh, that game. Yeah.
Yeah. It gets hard. It really does towards the later levels.
Mm.
Like, I know I've got to be close to getting to the end of it kind of deal. Because you can feel it and see it on the map at the same time. And it's like, yeah.
Anything else?
I think that's it, actually.
All right. Well, I got 7 things. Plus 3 things that, or no, technically 4 things that I've bought that I haven't really played that much because Steam Summer Sale. So I'm trying out Final Fantasy 14 because the free trial on Steam lets you go to 35, level 35. I'm not sure how to really describe my time with Final Fantasy 14. Like, I know there are people who really like this game, and there are people who really do not like this game. To quote Chaos D1, who runs MMO Grinder, he has a t-shirt that calls it Weeaboo Warcraft, because it's World of Warcraft, just in a Final Fantasy skin. And I kind of don't disagree with him as someone who has played World of Warcraft in this. And I wasn't really into World of Warcraft to start with. And the story and stuff, I really don't care for either. Because I think by the time I hit 20-something, I finally got out of my main city. And you know what my next mission was?
What?
Run around to the other 2 cities and go talk to the heads of those cities. And then the next mission was run to this city and talk to this person. That's what the mission was. That was it. Run around the people and talk to them. Like, no combat or anything, just run and talk to people. And that's not the most interesting thing in the world, especially when I don't feel invested in this world to start with. Just saying. Like, apparently 14 gets good when you get out of essentially the main game. But if that's the case, I don't want to play 14. But I will give them credit for one neat thing. You know how in order to play the different classes, you have to start over with a new character?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to do that with 14. You can literally go, like, you can have your main class, or you start a class and you play that class for a little while, and then it goes, all right, now you can do every class. Like, just go join up, get the weapons, and go. Like, you can literally get every job, or I think it's technically called a job. But yeah, you can get every job in the game on one character. You don't need more than one character in this game unless you really want to play another character. Yeah, that includes all of your actual fighting classes, the 3 material gathering classes, and the 5 different crafting classes. Because there are, wait, it's actually more than 5. It's like 7. There are 7 classes that are just for crafting items. And there is a lot of overlap in those recipes. Just saying. It is kind of obnoxious how many of those there are. And you can just still start them whenever. So yeah. I mean, that's cool, but I'm just not invested in 14 enough to care. Like, I have not went back to 14 at all since the Steam Summer Sale hit, and I've been playing other stuff. And I might not go back at all, to be honest.
Well then.
I might go back and, like, do the main quest to level 35, but I just don't care enough to do all of these gathering and crafting classes because God, is it just a bunch of waste my goddamn time. That I just don't care. I don't. Alright, I picked up Azure Striker Gunvolt off the Steam Summer Sale and was playing it. That game is a lot trickier than it looked on the speedrun that I remember from GDQ. Oh boy! Because, like, the jump button is a different place than you normally subconsciously go to because it's on square, and then the shoot button's on X, but then the circle button's the electric field that does the best damage in the game when you tag an enemy. And there's also 3 stages of tagging, but you can't tag, like, 2 enemies 3 times. It's only, like, 2, 1, or 1, 2. Like, you can't tag them both up to 3. I don't think. I might be wrong on that. Also, I didn't know how to pull off the special and accidentally pulled it off at the beginning of a stage, trying to experiment with the controls. What I'm saying is I'm very terrible at playing Gunvolt, and I think I really need to go back in the game and really relearn the controls again to get a better grasp of this game. So, more props to the speedrunners because, oh boy, does this game have a learning curve off the bat. Because what you're expecting is not quite what you're playing. But it's still good. I picked up Skullgirls, also on the Steam Summer Sale. The indie fighting game with the all-female cast. Well, not all-female cast anymore, because it has 2 guys on it. Have you heard of it?
I think I have.
Yeah, I picked it up. I like it. I'm not sure what it is, but the story modes for the main cast are not hard. I've beaten them all. The story modes for the DLC characters are a bit obnoxious already. Because, let's see, Beowulf, which is one of the only 2 male members on the cast, the difficulty of his story mode spikes, like, hard for some reason, and I don't know why. Just out of nowhere. Are you fighting yourself, and then you are getting your ass handed to you out of nowhere? And then for the Fukua, who is a clone of Philia and also a joke the developers did at Street Fighter when they released to Capri for Street Fighter 4, I think, who was pretty much Cammy. Like, there was no changes at all. Guess what the last fight of her game in her story mode is?
What?
How would you like if your opponent guarded all the time? And like perfect guarded too. Like you really have to just barely catch her off guard and be able to do normal damage. Otherwise, it's chip damage the whole fight. And I don't think I even can do chip damage in that fight. That's the last fight of her campaign. It was really obnoxious because of that. And also, I think she dealt more damage than me. Like, oh my god. I never want to play that fight again. But otherwise, I liked it. I'm not the best at these kind of fighting games, so I'm kind of just hit buttons and go with the flow. And if I get a super good combo, it's because I hit the right buttons at the right time. I am by no means good at this game. Which is why I'm not getting Marie 300 mode. I picked up Fate Grand Order on the mobile stores because it went out. Remember Fate Zero when we did it on TGSR way back when?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a mobile game based on the franchise with its own story and the ability to summon all sorts of characters throughout history that may or may not be representative of the actual person. Like the whole thing, like I believe the whole joke within the fandom is, you remember Arthur, right?
Yeah.
Well, there's apparently like 5 people, or like at least 3 different people in history that look just like her, but aren't her. There's Nero, there's Mordred, and then there is, I think, a Japanese swordsman. They all look like her, but that's not her. Like, I mean, exactly like her. We're talking clone status from a fighting game here. Bad. But it's not the same person. Yeah, you get a lot of that. I like it. I don't like the big boss battles because how you level up in the game is very much dependent on your drops. You have to get these different essences that might be more beneficial to a specific class than in general, and you use those to level up. And those don't drop a lot. So my Saber Lily is like level 18, and that's below the levels of the bosses right now. So I'm dealing with a 10k level, or 10k health boss with a level 29, a level 17, and like a guess that's level 30. Guess what the big problem is?
What?
They pull off their finisher, it's a one-shot on the entire party. Nothing I can do about it.
Jeez.
Even with defense buffs, he will still one-shot the party. That's bad game design, just saying. Like, there's no way around that besides powering through it and hope you beat him through the one-shot. Because there is a character that can drain the special bar off the enemy and, like, stop him, or, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Delay it a turn. That's it. And then the ability goes on cooldown. But unless you have that party as a support member, or you have that, if you have that character in your support slot, because you can pick up characters that you don't have as a support member for your third party member, or if you have that character, you have that ability. But after you use it, it goes on cooldown for like 6 turns. Meaning you are most likely going to have to deal with that finisher at some point. Which sucks. Just saying. So yeah, I am not looking forward to some of these later bosses with that kind of stuff, because if that is the case and I don't get good ways of leveling up my characters, it's going to be a fucking grind. And I don't like mobile games that are super grindy. Granted, I don't like a lot of games that get super grindy, because I want to feel like I'm doing something instead of doing a whole bunch of nonsense to maybe get somewhere eventually. I've been playing Fire Emblem Heroes still, even though I'm kind of falling out of favor of the game. Not only are we doing the whole War of Clerics, we're also doing a summer event. So you get 4 characters in swimsuits, 2 of which are female, 2 of which are male. They're all Awakening characters, I believe. Yeah, they're all Awakening characters. It's Robin, Frederick, I can't remember the Sweets guy, and Crom. And it's female Robin, in case anyone's wondering. Or no, not Crom, Tiki. Yeah, Tiki from Awakening. I don't know why I thought it was Crom. But yeah, they got both of those going on, so you have 3 banners to pull characters from based off current events, and yeah, that's kind of obnoxious. Because now I'm like, do I want a better? Right? No, I already have Mist. Why would I get a Bear Shot Mist? It's like, well, I want Mist. Wait, no, I already have Mist at level at a 5-star already even. So I'll probably just pull on the swimsuit one, see if I get any of them. But yeah, I don't like whatever is going on in the background on the difficulties. Because I have a nearly 5-star level 40 team that still gets their ass handed to them in fights. And it's not like I'm using bad characters either. I'm using good characters. I'm using the best tier characters I can use. Literally. Okay. All right, not on the max 41, but according to the tier list I have, these are still good characters. And I still get my ass handed to me, even if I'm trying to be tactical. Granted, the maps are always not in my favor, so it doesn't help that matter. Because I still can't beat some of the story mode missions on Lunatic. So yeah, if you've dropped Fire Emblem Heroes, I don't blame you. I am super close to doing it too. And I've also decided to pick back up Record Keeper and go back into the grind of, oh yeah, I do all the special stuff, but I don't make very much progress in the game in terms of getting to the next stage or getting to the next level because I just don't have the equipment for it. Which, that's the good thing about Record Keeper is, if you want any character from Final Fantasy, from the history of Final Fantasy, it is easy to get any character you want. Those aren't tied to money. That's literally just tied to progress. Like, you can get... Yeah, the only thing you need to get a character is either A, have a mission that gives you that character outright, or B, have a mission that gives you a Soul of Hero, which allows you to literally go into the big list of characters in the game and then go, all right, which one do you want? Him? Click, click, done. You got him. Also, do you have every character in the game already? Oh, you get a free experience egg to help level up characters. Granted, there's like a ridiculous amount of characters in Record Keeper because of, since every character is essentially a like 20-ish pixel sprite, it's not hard to turn out characters real quick. Although I'm surprised that they just now put in Noctis from 15. Because 15's been out for a year now? A year plus? Like, the Prompto DLC just went out this week, and we are just now getting Noctis in the States. Because I believe they've had Noctis in Japan for a while. For Record Keeper. So, yeah. I'm surprised that we didn't get Noctis sooner. You got the fucking characters from, what is it, Tales of Final Fantasy? The little smaller RPG we had a while back? Was it Tales?
I think it might have been.
Yeah, you get both the main characters from that game before you got Noctis. And I think both of those came out when that game came out. So I don't know why it took forever for us to get Noctis. And we've only got Noctis, mind you, from 15. No one else from 15. But you can't get a... Give me an obscure character in Final Fantasy's history. Someone you would never expect to be playable in the game and give me the franchise, give me the game it was in.
I wouldn't begin to know right offhand.
Well, that's bad because I have no idea who any of these characters are. All right, let me go in here and pick out some of these characters. What game do you know well enough, decently enough in Final Fantasy?
Honestly, I've kind of been out of the loop for quite some time on it. Like, I've not played any of them in quite some time.
All right, that's not helpful.
Yeah.
All right, I'll name you a whole bunch of the 7 characters. So you can get Barrett and Tifa and Aerith and Red 13 and Yuffie and Kate Sith and Vincent and Cloud, even though he's not on this list for some reason, from Final Fantasy VII, right?
Right.
Well, you can also get Zack. You know, the guy that Cloud thought he was for most of 7 and is also the star of Crisis Core. You can also get Sid. And you can get Sephiroth, too. You can also get Reno, who I believe is... shit. What is it? Shinra? Isn't he a Shinra agent?
I don't remember.
Well, you can also get Angeal, who I believe is the guy that gave Zack the Buster Sword. And, you know, if you've not played Crisis Core, you have no idea who that guy is to start with. You can also get Rufus, who I believe is the main guy behind Shinra. Because I think he's in Advent Children, I think. I don't remember. You can also get 13 Sid. You know, the Sid from Final Fantasy 13? That's the bad guy. And I think does shit all in that game. Yeah, you can get him in this game. He's playable. There's a whole bunch of tactics characters that are available. And a whole bunch of characters just representing the various classes over the course of the history. And a bunch of 14 characters. I have no idea who they are. I got nothing else, to be honest. You can get some fairy called Echo from Final Fantasy 1, if anyone wants to inform me on who the hell that is. Look, the point I'm getting at is there's a shit ton of characters in Record Keeper. Because looking at this list, that's not even a complete list. It's just the list I can pull up that has every character I can get with a Soul of Hero. It is 5 long by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. It's a 5 by 33 grid. Take one off, and that's every character in the game that you can get with a Soul of Hero. Which equates to... calculator. Hurry up, please. I can't do math in head. I'm sorry. 164 characters. And that's not even a complete list because Cloud's not on here and I have Cloud. Yeah, there's a shit ton of characters you can get in this game, and I think they're at this point where they're running out of characters to actually put in the game because they've put in everyone they can. Unless we start getting real obscure or we start putting in villains. And we already have villains in the game. Because, you know, we have Sephiroth and Seymour from 10 and Sid Reigns from 13. And Garland from 1. And Edna from 8. Those are the only villains I know of. There's probably more that are in the game. But yeah. Also been playing Kingdom Hearts 2. I beat Sephiroth. That's the easiest post-game fight in the game, so that's not saying much. I died to him like 6 times before I got him. Honestly, the biggest tip I can give to anyone if you are playing Kingdom Hearts 2 and struggling with Sephiroth is just control the fight. Don't try to do anything too fancy. Just follow the rhythm of the fight. Do your combos, block, and if he goes for Heartless Angel, you take it down. You stop him. Heartless Angel is where he floats up into the air and says Heartless Angel, and if you hear a ringing sound, that means you're getting dropped to 1 health. And he will most likely try to kill you at that point. Because once more, a second chance will not save you on that. Because it won't count as a combo. But yeah, I kind of want to grind out elixirs, but I don't. Because I did the fight without elixirs, and that's kind of bad. Because elixirs are a good thing to have, because they heal both your health and replenish your mana. And that's a good thing to have, instead of one or the other. Because you only have, I think, 6 item slots to equip things with. And you kind of want items on your shortcut menu, because it takes a little while to get to your items normally. Instead of holding a trigger, hitting one of the face buttons, it's down 3 times on the D-pad, over 1, down to your item, over 1 to select, and then X. Yeah, it's faster to have it on your shortcut menu. But yeah, if you can control the fight and use what you have to your advantage, you can get through Sephiroth easy. It just takes time. And learning what all his attacks do. And also learning that, oh yeah, that reaction command he does at the start of the fight, yeah, I can reflect that and get actually a proc and be able to do damage off of it. I didn't know I could do that. The only problem is he's normally far enough away that reflect doesn't hit him. But if you can kind of manipulate him to get close to a wall, when he tries to do that reaction command on you, you can actually get damage from reflect on him. I didn't know you could do that. And I've beaten Sephiroth on my original copy of KH2. And I don't remember ever doing that. I thought you either had to do the reaction. I thought you always had to do reaction command. I didn't know you could dodge it. Because BizKit shows you can dodge that reaction command, and it's super ballsy to do so. Because it looks super dangerous. I've also continued my New Game Plus, getting all the S-Links on Persona 5. I'm in Egypt now, accidentally, because I was trying to go to Mementos to take care of some side quest stuff, and I accidentally went to the main palace, and I'm like, well, I guess I'm completing the main palace up to sending the calling card now. Or at least up to the point where I think I have to stop. Because, like I said before, you keep all your equipment on the New Game Plus, which means your main attacks do a shit ton of damage. I can still knock out enemies fairly well at this point in the game. So I am like auto battling through a lot of fights. If it's a boss fight, I still have to play through it, but if it's a regular fight, yeah, I'm going to burn through this fight real quick just by hitting start and letting the AI just beat the shit out of them. And by beat the shit, I mean just do the basic attack, which is my strongest attack at the moment, not counting how strong my different spells are. I also, on the Steam Summer Sale, picked up the 2 Shantae games that aren't Half Genie Hero, because Half Genie Hero is not on sale, I don't think. Yeah, Half Genie Hero is not on sale. Or if it is, it's not that cheap. Unlike the other 2 Shantae games where are like under $10, I think. I picked up Song of the Deep, which is the Metroidvania-esque game that was from Insomniac, I think. I think they developed it. They might be just publishers on it. And I picked up Star Wars Battlefront 2 to prove a point of how, hey, for those people who's wondering why people say that the other old Battlefronts are better, well, I'll stream an old Battlefront and you'll see why it's better. I'll go through the bot AI campaigns and I might play online and just like, hey, here, this is why people love the original Battlefronts, because they played like this, and they were still good. But that's all I picked up on the Steam Summer Sale. I've kept up with the stickers and the cards and stuff. I've gotten actually a level 2 badge on the cards.
Huh.
Because you can get 3 cards a day if you go through your queue. So I've gotten lucky. Plus, I've got like close to $1 in my wallet, and the cards are selling for like 7 cents on Steam. So it's not hard to pick them up. I think I'm 3 cards away from getting level 3 badge for the summer sale. And as long as I keep completing the missions for the stickers, I should get all the stickers. Because those aren't tied to purchases or anything. Those are just tied to whatever missions are, and none of the missions I think have required you to buy anything. One of them required you to get an achievement, which may or may not be hard depending on what games you have achievements on at the moment on your Steam list. Because I was like, shit, what game do I have that I can get an achievement for real quick? Oh, I'll boot up a Shantae game that I've just bought and beat the first level. That's good. That'll work. But yeah, that is all I've played. I have not gotten back to Shadows of Valentia. I'll probably get back to that at some point. Since I'm going to start doing backlog streams starting tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow night. And just go, hey, I'm just going to let my backloggery shove a game in my face. I'm like, all right, I'm going to stream this. And it doesn't matter what it is. I don't care. Like if it's Tokyo Mirage Sessions FE, yeah, I'll stream that and I'll pick up exactly where I left off. Or Valkyria Chronicles, especially since Valkyria, the spin-off Valkyria game came out this past week and it's not good from what I'm hearing, which sucks. Apparently it's super bland and super boring and just not good. Yeah, whatever it is, I'm just gonna play through it. Then just pick up wherever I left off. So if I stream Valkyria Chronicles, folks, prepare to see me die a whole bunch trying to beat the last 2 levels again. Because I still have my save data from before I had to reformat my PS3. That was on my old PS3. So I have to refight the last 2 levels all over again. And fuck that final boss. Oh, you're going to see just how salty I can be about a final boss when we get there if I stream that. Now that I say that, the backlogger is going to give that to me. Yep. Because, yeah, it's that same fortune cookie thing John uses for his stream. That's where the fortune cookie comes from.
Yeah, I
know. Granted, the first time I tested it out today, it gave me Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn. I'm like, no, I can't do that because I have to wait on my Wiimote to come in. So, no, fuck you. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go see what it's going to give it to me right now.
And that's what you're going to do tomorrow?
Sure. Cookie gives me Sonic Okay.
What did it give you?
Sonic Generations.
That's funny.
By the way, I for those wondering, I do own Sonic Generations. I bought it in the last Steam sale.
That's funny.
In case we decide to do it, let's play of it.
That's funny.
Fine, I don't care. That'll be the literal first time I'll open up Sonic Generations.
You know what? I might just try to sit down and figure out everything that I was going to have planning for Rampant Gaming anyhow. I'm wanting to try to set up a way to where we both can be playing a game and show both cams.
Mm-hmm.
And I might have found a way, but I've got to test. So we might test that after we get done.
Mm. Oh, joy.
Because you know what? I'd be up for playing it again.
Yeah, it'll be my first time through Generations.
And if not, then I might just stream on my Twitch. Because what the heck? Might as well.
Yeah. I was trying to see what the didn't record dialogue thing from Golden Compass Tattoos they tweeted out about. I'll have to wait till after stream to see that. Anyway, that's all I've been playing. And now you know what I'm playing tomorrow, folks. Hope you're in for some good Sonic. Since we've played through a bunch of not good to really bad Sonic games.
We didn't finish Heroes, did we?
No, we played through the Team Sonic one and said, fuck this nonsense, we're not playing this anymore, because it would literally be the same game every time. Well, it'd be us replaying the game every time, just with a different team.
Well, it was that, and I was getting to the point where I was like, no. Just no.
Just no. Well, let's talk about some articles then. Oh boy.
Well, you know, you were talking about mobile titles and possibly dropping some, so I mean, I guess this first article will help you out.
Yeah, we're getting a new Assassin's Creed mobile game called Assassin's Creed Rebellion, a free-to-play strategy RPG. I guess it's going to be our requisite giant Assassin's Creed crossover game because, hey, look, it's the guy from the Egyptian game, or the game that's coming out right now, I think, and some Viking dude, and Ezio, and the chick from the one that's from New Orleans, I think. That or it's one of the two spin-off or little smaller 2D games. And whoever the fuck that fifth person is on the right. That might be a chick. I don't know. I can't tell. It's going to be taking place in Spain during the Inquisition and tasks you with building your own brotherhood to take on missions against the Templars. Over the course of the game, you build up a fortress that attracts a roster of more than 40 assassins, some of which are familiar, like Ezio, Oglier, Xiao Jun, Claudia, and Machiavelli. Wait, Machiavelli was an assassin in the timeline? Alright, sure. I would expect he'd be a Templar considering what his name has become, but alright. See, sending teams of 3 out on missions nets you crafting materials, improves your assassins, levels up your brotherhood, which allows you to unlock new rooms to your fortress. Apparently, there's a new version of the Animus that merges the memories of several assassins together, which is why all of these assassins are under your control. Yay. We're getting it soon on Android and iOS. You can read more about it on the Ubisoft blog. Yeah, if you're looking for Origins coverage, Game Informer's got you covered along with everyone else because they got footage of that. So, yeah. I'll be honest, I don't care.
But it's Assassin's Creed on mobile in chibi style.
So, let me remind you that I have Assassin's Creed 3 on my shelf, and I did not even get through the prologue of the game.
I know the feeling.
And I have not bothered putting it on my backlog.
I know the feeling. I've got 3 and I haven't finished it either. Nor have I finished 4, even though I find it more enjoyable.
Yeah, I've beaten all the other Assassin's Creed games I have, which I don't have Assassin's Creed 1 because I never bothered buying it. I have 2 up through the Ezio trilogy and the 3, and I've beaten all those but 3, and I'm not going to bother.
3, I just couldn't get into the story. 4, I could, but now the issue is I've put my 360 away because I don't like fighting it. and I don't feel like digging it back out when I get in the mood to play it, so I just find something else to play.
Yeah. Well, good news is there might be something interesting for amiibo collectors. Maybe, depending on
Possibly.
if this decides to carry over to America, but amiibos are region free, so it don't fucking matter. If you're looking for a better way to pick up the 4 Guardians from Breath of the Wild, Japan's getting them all in a 4-pack, which is the largest pack of amiibo we've gotten so far. Buy one.
To this, I'm gonna say, we already knew we were getting the 4 amiibos. I could honestly see this being the thing we get too.
Yeah. It's just we haven't seen listings for the 4 of them together, only the 4 of them separate. But yeah, it's
Which,
64.
I mean, to be fair, that's probably a good sign because I still do not have a Squid amiibo because, you know, they didn't do this Squid one separate for Splatoon.
Yeah. Should be able to get one with the new 3-pack. And maybe it will be backwards compatible with Splatoon?
I'd say because the amiibos haven't been just solely compatible with whatever game they come out with forward. It kind of is a universal.
Yeah. It depends on what they register as. I would think it would still register. Maybe.
Well, the reason I say that is because the Toon Zelda that came out with the 35 or the 30 anniversary functions as a Zelda amiibo in Smash. So they apparently have thought it through enough to give a lot of flexibility. And I could see that being the same thing.
Well, it's 6480 yen, which is about 65-ish bucks American-ish. Which, is that a deal? On the 4? I want to say that's kind of a deal.
Depends on where they're getting priced at individually. Because if they're going to be a little higher than what we've previously seen, then that might be. But if they're the, what, $13 a piece price point, then no, that's not. So, I guess it kind of depends on where they're priced individually.
Let me check Amazon, because I know the listings are on there with prices. I believe. Well, you can pre-order Metroid Prime 4 on Amazon. While I'm looking for Breath of the Wild amiibo.
Even though we have no gameplay.
We literally only have a title card, which is what the Amazon listing also has.
I'm just going to put this out there. If you pre-order a game without being able to see literally anything for it, then I have one other game to just spout out there. No Man's Sky. If you want to throw that money, go for it. I would rather have something solid. And not to mention, when it comes time to buy it, I'm just going to put it on my eShop account and wait for the digital download.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, cartridges is good, but I'm kind of getting to the point where I would just rather have digital anyhow. So.
Although I did see a neat case at Walmart that you can put cartridges in that I would possibly pick up.
Well, see, the other thing is, you know, I'm kind of dabbling in various games for speedrunning.
Mm-hmm.
So digital has faster load times too.
Yep.
I'm wanting to say Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, it only shaves off like a couple of seconds loading time. So it's not a lot, but it is enough over the course of an entire run.
Mm-hmm. Well, unfortunately, I can't get a price on Amazon, so I don't know. Granted, it takes me ever for me to find them because I get fucking fidget spinners and all sorts of other shit when I'm looking for a fucking amiibo. Specifically looking for amiibo.
Sounds right.
Amazon. Can I get a little bit of searching on you? Just a
But
little bit.
But yeah, because, I mean, we know the amiibos are having higher detail. So it's possible they're going to have a higher price point. That's why I'm like, it's really going to kind of determine on where they're priced at.
Mm-hmm. Best Buy has them at $16 a piece.
So $64. And you said that's, well, you said that's about what that worked out to be.
Conversion rate rise, yeah. Give or take.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Because I'd venture to say, I know amiibo prices have all been pretty close to each other. I would venture to say that's going to be where we're sitting at all the way around.
Actually, the Final Smash amiibo are 13.
Must still be, well, look at how long the Bayonetta one's been done.
Mm-hmm.
So it's possible that that was done before they started getting into more detail.
Is it weird that when I'm looking at Tom Fox's new chair, I'm like, that's a racing chair. That's a racing seat.
I ain't even got the stream up, so.
He tweeted it out.
Oh.
Yeah, he's already the stream's already over, but he tweeted out the picture of it, and I'm just seeing the back of it, and I'm like, that looks like a racing seat. That'd be in a race car. Granted, it's called a DX Racer, so why should I be surprised? It still feels weird. Like the primary design for gaming chairs seems to be racing seats from race cars.
Also, I want to point out something about the article here.
Mm-hmm.
It's saying that it's unclear when they'll ship, but it'll be sometime this year. You know why it's unclear when they're gonna ship?
Because we don't have a release date for them.
No, because we don't have a release date for the second DLC pack. I have a funny feeling they're gonna have some kind of compatibility with Breath of the Wild for that second DLC pack.
Well, the second DLC pack is called the Champions Pack, which makes sense.
And I mean, we already know that it's gonna be a new campaign, so I could completely see this being like companion concepts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because we've only gotten one companion and with Wolflink, and that's it. And it feels like they would do more with that. Also, is it weird that they are placed out of order from their box art, which goes against all multi-packs for Amiibo? Like, no one is in the same position that they should be according to the box art, which every Amiibo multi-pack adheres to that. Every single one of them.
And it don't really look like they've got it set up to where it's in any kind of a formation that you might could reference in the game. Like, that's the other thing that's weird.
Also, now that I look at it, this just looks like a mock-up, so they might not even be in that order when it releases. Because that's just the 4 figures with a Photoshop background around them. Or with the packaging photoshopped around them. Because that's not the real plastic cover, and that's not the real back or back of the.
Yeah, because each of them would have had the back wall to station them to where they can't move. So yeah, that clearly is not the final.
Yeah, and there's I wouldn't say it's in the natural lighting, but like there's something about just the plastic shell that makes me go, oh yeah, that's fake. I could just tell from the shell it's fake. I'm not sure what it is, but it's just that. So yeah, here's open.
That is still odd that they decided to do it that way in terms of the placement, though.
Mm-hmm.
Because that means at one point they thought that placement was going to be it.
Mm-hmm. Before they did the art, which I assume the art for it is just their standard art pushed together.
It's actually the same art that that was utilized for the second DLC pack.
Well, that's another credence to your thought. I didn't even realize it was that. I figured it's just their stock art because that's what they use for all the amiibo backings. Oh no, that's not it. Never mind. No, that's the key art for the DLC. Well,
yeah. It's one of those Nintendo's good about accidentally throwing the idea out there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, So I have a funny feeling when we know a release date for the amiibo, we'll know the release date for the DLC. And vice versa.
Because I believe right now they're listed as a December 30th release, is what I said last time.
That sounds right, because if I'm not mistaken, the only thing we knew from launch even was we were getting the first DLC pack in the summer, and then the second one, wanting to say they said fall, but it might have been the end of the year.
Yeah. I do not look forward to pre-ordering all of the Smash Amiibo on Amazon, let alone the Player 2 stuff, because, they kind of last minute the pre-orders for the Link Trio when they just came out this past week. Yeah, and female Corrin can only be gotten on Amazon. So, like, if anything else, I am getting Corrin. Like, I don't care if I just have to order her by herself. I will get female Corrin because I want female Corrin. Because that's also the Corrin I play in Fates. And it seems to be the canonical Corrin, I guess, since that's the Corrin that's showing up in Fire Emblem Heroes.
And the one that they're kind of using for promotion for the game in, like, everything anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. Because with Robin, they first showed off the male variant, not the female variant. Of course, I think they did the same thing for Corrin, but I think more people are leaning towards female Corrin now. I don't know. There needs to, since someone get some statistics out there on like what percentage of people played male and female Robin and male and female Corrin. Because I have a theory on why it seems to be male Robin, female Corrin. But I don't know if the stats will back up that theory. Because I think my theory is most people picked male Robin in Awakening and then swapped genders to play female Corrin in Fates. That's my theory, at least. Or at the very least, most people picked female Corrin for like 2 of the 3 campaigns because they swapped back and forth. Because one campaign they played male, one campaign they played female, and for the third they went with their favorite. Maybe. But I don't know if there are stats out there that could back that theory up. Because that is my only assumption of how this happened. Because there's like no reason for this to happen otherwise. But anyway, we had a Halo game to talk about that's not 343 related. Apparently, a Halo fan game is going to be going live, and it's got the approval for both 343 and Microsoft Studios.
Well then.
Installation 01 is coming out, but apparently there are a few conditions. They can't. Apparently, the restrictions are they can't profit in any direct way. It has to be released for free. Can't accept donations, and it can't sell any merchandise that's based off the game. Merchandise based off the studio is, however, permitted. So, I don't think we have a name for the studio, so that doesn't help.
Why do you think it's worded that way?
Yeah. Let's see. As long as the state is non-commercial, Installation 1 has the green light. All things considered, that's a pretty fantastic turnout, as the article says.
Okay. Here's the only issue. Like, I get they don't want them making money off of it. But I don't understand why we can't be like, okay, it can accept donations, but they get a cut of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because then you're still offering it for free. No one has to give money. But that would also open some of these big corporate eyes to, like, the concept of if people like your stuff, they're going to give you money, whether you ask for it or not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're shooting. Let me read the about real quick. About Installation 01. It's an art. They aim to build an artistic tribute to Halo that recreates multiplayer experience of the Bungie era games. Free to play on all PC platforms, including Windows, Mac OS, and Linux. It's built on top of the Unity 5 engine. It can run smoothly on even some of the lowest end hardware while still looking beautiful on high-end machines. A combination of what we believe to be the best parts of the classic Bungie era Halo games, mostly focused on recreating the Halo 2-3 experience. There are also elements of combat involved in Reach sprinkled in. Features from later 343 industry Halo games can be enabled in custom games, but will not be a part of matchmaking. So if you did not like Halo 4 multiplayer, don't worry, this isn't your game. Let's see. A little lore about Installation 01 called Beta Halo, and it's the farthest from the Arc, and the monitor is 001 Abstract Ingenuity. Little on the nose considering this game. We got a whole bunch of screenshots and stuff.
Also, the reason why it's gonna be able to run on low-end hardware is because of the Linux capability.
Yeah.
And the multi-platform is apparently capable because of it being done through Unity.
Mm-hmm.
Which, looking at that, technically speaking, it could be ported to mobile, but the problem with that would be, how do you control it?
Yeah. Although, look at these screenshots. There's one thing I don't recognize, or a vehicle I don't recognize. It might be something they made for the game. It's a 8-wheel kind of like APC tank thing. It's the first screenshot on their website if you want to take a look. I just went through the link in the article and went through there.
I bet they did make that.
Yeah, because I don't recognize it.
Looks like a mini tank.
Well, it kind of looks like an AP, like a personnel carrier. And I'm trying to remember what the personnel carrier is, because I'm the one who plays Halo Wars, and all of those other vehicles that you might have heard of throughout Halo's history that you don't recognize from the main games most likely come from Halo Wars, because that's where they all were really shown off for the first time. Yeah, I don't recognize it.
I do like the way that they're utilizing the newer stylings for the vehicles, though.
Yeah. God, just give me nostalgia for Halo 3. And like the first armor they're showing off is like a very Con-esque armor and an ODST armor from the looks of it.
Yeah. That is a lot like the ODST stuff.
Yeah, the unpainted model is ODST.
Which is odd, seeing as how they're using the standard Mark IV, I think it is, in the main screenshot.
I believe so.
I think I'm right on.
No, that's the new armors from 4, which is the Mark.
Well,
6.
It might be the new armors from 4.
Yeah.
We can't see the front.
Mm-hmm.
Because remember, the COD piece got changed.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
The only difference between Reach and 4.
Yeah.
And the dumbest change.
Yeah, and I love their really stupid explanation for it. It's like, oh yeah, Cortana changed it with nano machines, son. And I'm just like, that's a dumb reason to change his fucking armor for the fucking game. Fuck off. And it even makes your final cutscene that less impactful.
And from the looks of it, it looks like they are probably going to be incorporating all the weapons that 3 and Reach both had.
Nice. Wait. Weapon. The last screenshot before the plasma rifle. I don't recognize that.
The only thing I can think is maybe that's a
battle rifle. Because it's not the DMR, because the DMR is up above it.
That wouldn't be the battle rifle, because the battle rifle and the DMR look very similar.
Yeah.
That might be like a early build of the SMG.
That'd be a very odd choice, because they have the SMG up above. Like the proper SMG up above.
That's why I'm saying that might be an early build.
Yeah. The only thing that makes me think it's the battle rifle, because the battle rifle does have that top railing part. If you remember. It kind of reminds you of a FAMAS from Rainbow Six. So the only thing that makes me think is like, oh, this is kind of battle rifle-esque for some reason. Maybe a different SMG? Too bad these things don't have names. Does this have a name?
Well, the image is named MA5K.
Yeah.
Maybe that is a new weapon for it then. I mean, it looks like they're trying to take some liberties on their own too. So that's making me think that technically, timeline-wise, they could consider this like post 3.
Mm-hmm.
Because we know even after the Ark got destroyed, the other rings could be fired on their own.
Yeah. And technically the Ark's not destroyed, it's just busted up real bad. It's not blown to pieces.
But it can't function all the halos from it.
No, it can. Yeah, that one of the AIs decided I believe the Arc AI decided to hijack it and try to set them all off, which is what brought about the shit. Where are my Halo novels? Halo, not Last Light. Hunters in the Dark. That novel. Yeah, AI decided to try to trigger all the Halos, and Vale and a team of Spartans and Elites had to go investigate the Ark to figure out why they were all on a countdown sequence. So no, the Ark can still fire them. It's more of a case that the Flood should be gone. Should. Don't think that's the case anymore because of Halo Wars 2. I believe a story DLC is about to prove, yeah, the Flood still exists. Some very, very, very small spores survived 04's explosion again.
So, Halo Wars 2 takes place post Halo 3?
It takes place post Halo 5, I believe.
I have a problem. Why did we just leave that big gap in the timeline there? Like,
so we can make books about it. Like, I forgot when Hunters in the Dark takes place. 2555. When was the end of Halo 3?
I'm wanting to say it all took place within like a year. So, I know that's post Halo 3. It may be post Halo 4 even.
Yeah, I just want to know when Halo 3 takes place. $25.52.
Yeah, I'm wanting to say that book would take place post 3 and 4. Because there wasn't a large time gap between 3 and 4, but there was a time gap.
Yeah.
Like, it might be taking place the same time as 5? Maybe?
It's not taking place at the same time as 5 because Olympia Vale's in this book, and this is how she gets recruited into the Spartan program. Like, that book and New Blood are essentially your introductions to Vale and Buck pre-Halo 5. Just throwing that out there. Because Olympia Vale's on the team and she's not a Spartan yet. But her actions during this book is what gets her recruited. So, which is why she's a Spartan in Halo 5. And again, Buck's actions in Halo New Blood is what leads him to become a Spartan in Halo 5. And also tells you what the fuck happened to the rest of the crew from Halo 3 ODST. Spoilers, not all good things. Like, super not good at a whole lot of things. 2558, I believe, is Halo 4. Ish, maybe. It might be a year before that. I just wish there was a really quick reference for this stuff. Just like, what year does this game take place? That year? Thank you. 2550. That might be Halo 5. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna leave that alone.
Fixing to find out.
Yeah, let's see what else. Halo Escalation mostly takes place before Halo 5, and that's where you get to meet Tanaka. An arc in Halo Escalation gives you an introduction to Tanaka and why she got recruited to the Spartan program. Too bad that I don't think the game really makes that big of a deal about that. Which kind of sucks. That you have to go to ancillary material to know who the fuck these people are. And so much ancillary media, too. All right, Halo Force it's 2557. And Halo 3 is 2552. So that's 3 years after Halo 3 is when Hunters in the Dark takes place. This is what happens when you read a shit ton of the Halo books. You get filled in on a whole bunch of stuff that's never talked about in the games. Like, how the fuck did Chief get back from the from Halo, or how did he get back to Earth from Halo 1 along with Johnson? Yeah, you gotta read First Strike, I think. Is it First Strike? I believe it's First Strike. I believe you have to read First Strike because they did not come back home on the craft you saw them last leave in on Halo 1. They kind of had to go hijack a Covenant ship and take that back home. Along with Johnson, I believe the Pelican pilot from Halo 1 and a couple of the crew members. So if you've ever wondered how the fuck Johnson survived Halo 1, you gotta go read that book. And it literally comes down to, him, the Pelican pilot, and a couple other people pretty much just went on a Pelican and got the fuck off the ring before it went boom. And they went and hijacked the Covenant ship and took that back home. All right. But any other thoughts before we move on to Nintendo being dumb, potentially?
No.
Well, Nintendo's putting out another box, folks. And it is, in fact, a Super NES Classic. Coming out September 29th for $80, with no place to pre-order it just yet, as far as I know. Oh, boy. We're getting... What was it? 30 games? Or not 30 games. 21 games?
I don't remember. I think 21.
2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Yep, 21. 21 games coming out for the Super NES Classic. By the way, I found out how the cords plug in, and they are 5-foot cords, in case anyone's wondering. Apparently, the front panel on the SNES, where the control ports are, those flip down to give you access to the actual ports. I don't know why that's the case, but it is. And 20 of the 21 games are as follows. We've got Contra 3, Donkey Kong Country, Earthbound, Final Fantasy 3, aka Final Fantasy 6, F-Zero, Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past, Kirby's Dream Course, Kirby Superstar, Mega Man X, Secret of Mana, Star Fox, Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island, Super Mario RPG, Super Mario Kart, Super Metroid, Super Ghouls and Ghosts, Street Fighter 2 Turbo Hyper Fighting, Super Punch-Out, and Super Castlevania 4. Now, what's important here is that 21st game. That 21st game is Star Fox 2.
The unreleased Star Fox game.
We've only ever had ROMs of an incomplete prototype version of Star Fox 2. The game that gave us the walker that you see in Star Fox Zero. That game, never before released, never before complete, is now being released on this thing that the NES had like zero stock of. Yeah.
That might I also add, if it's using the same kind of emulation that the NES Classic had, we'll have a full ROM after this releases.
I pray that either that happens or this gets put on a fucking eShop on something. Because I'm going to be honest. As cool as some of these games are, I don't want to pay $80 for this. Nor do I want to go through the hassle of getting this damn thing. I really don't.
I think they've done burned everyone now, and this is going to end up bombing. Which sucks, because that means we won't get an N64 Classic.
Or a Game Boy Classic. You know what would also be nice?
What?
You know that online service you have on the Switch?
Yeah.
What if, I don't know, if you were subscribed to that service, you could just play whatever you want out of the large backlog of retro games that Nintendo would put up on the Virtual Console.
When they put it up.
Exactly.
Because, we still don't have the Virtual Console.
But why can't we just have the Virtual Console? Like,
we still don't have media apps. The console's been out for almost 4 months now. Someone needs to get their act together and figure it out.
Yes.
What's bad is here probably just a couple of weeks ago, they did a update for the system that actually cleaned up some of the UI. Why couldn't we have implemented it then?
Because we don't wanna. Because we gotta sell this box first.
They ain't gonna sell this box because they done screwed everyone on the NES Classic. I mean,
you know what's better?
The Wii U Virtual Console?
No! The companion article that talks about the Super Famicom Classic, aka the SNES Classic for other regions that didn't get the SNES but got the Super Famicom. Because guess what? Those have different games on them. It's a different set of 21 games. Which includes, let's see, Legend of the Mystic Ninja, Super Soccer.
It would have been nice if they'd put these in alphabetical order.
Yep. Secret of Mana, I believe, is also... No, not Secret of Mana, my bad. The first Fire Emblem game, Fire Emblem Mystery of the Emblem, in its original form. Final Fantasy 5?
But
right, yeah, Final Fantasy 6, but yeah, it's still 3.
So, yeah.
I believe still Super Street Fighter 2. Panel de Pon, which is apparently Tetris Attack. And that's it. Different games. All right. And of course, people have pointed out there's a multitude of omissions from this game that should push it up to like 30 plus, like, the rest of the Donkey Kong Country trilogy, Earthbound, other Final Fantasy games because the bunch came to the SNES. Chrono Trigger really being big among them because, like, why is Chrono Trigger not on here? Because that's a super big SNES title.
The only thing I can think of is maybe because of the length of time the game takes.
Chrono Trigger is a super quick game. It's like a 40-minute game.
Not if you're wanting to try to get everything, though.
Really? I'm trying to think of Pro Jared's quote from when he played through the game and he completed it. And it was like short. Even when you got everything, it's still short. Hang on. There's a website for this. And it's got good estimates, so 23 hours. For just the main story, 26 and a half for main and extras, 45 and a half to complete.
Really, though, for an SNES game, that's kind of on the long side.
Yeah.
I mean, comparing to modern games, which I have over 65 hours in Breath of the Wild, yeah, that's short.
That's short in retrospect.
But I mean, most of these other SNES games are not gonna. Heck, most of them probably aren't even gonna break the 10-hour mark.
No. Although, no, there's not really that many RPGs on there. That many disproportionate RPGs.
I mean, you could probably argue Link to the Past, but
I think more people are having fun with the Link to the Past randomizer than
yeah,
normal Link to the Past at this point.
Yeah.
Especially when you can like change up the playable character apparently and play as Zelda or Samus apparently. Or your grandpa. I might have been watching a bit of Smite.
I was going to say, so you've been watching Smite play it too then?
Yeah, I was in his stream for one of his runs and people were talking about taxes because of the whole new affiliate thing with subscribers and contracts and stuff. People were talking about taxes and pointing out, if you're in our situation where you don't have that many concurrent followers or concurrent viewers and followers, it's not quite worth it because that's a lot of tax filing for not a whole lot of earned money.
But I'm also wanting to say that you technically don't have to file if you only make under a certain amount.
Unless the contract specifically states you have to file taxes.
It might.
Yeah. If the contract says that, then yeah, you're kind of screwed if you're in our position. Because I looked on our lifetime for the YouTube, we've earned $5 about.
I think.
In the entire lifetime of the YouTube account. Yeah, we haven't earned a whole lot doing this, to be honest. But yeah, I don't want to put up with the hassle just to play Star Fox 2. Especially when I haven't played the original Star Fox either.
Honestly, I'm just like, this is a thing. It's one of those, you kind of get tired of getting burnt by them. Because you look, we've had shortages on Amiibos. We've had shortages on the NES Classic. The Switch has had shortages. So what's telling me that we're not going to have shortages on the SNES Classic?
Well, at least as I found out, the shortages make sense for the Switch, and it's out of Nintendo's control.
True. Like that one, true. But the NES Classic, it's a glorified Raspberry Pi. A $35 card that anyone can grab.
Wait, is it really $35? I thought it was $80.
You can get them as low as 35, and it
Okay.
would be just as comparable as what's in there. The
Okay,
the
because
ROMs, I can almost guarantee it to you, they have nothing in them because people have actually matched them up to other ROMs on the internet, and there's a strong possibility that they might have just been downloaded from the internet.
yeah, because what is it? My mom was showing me something. One of the people she follows on Facebook, that some guy took apart an NES cartridge for Super Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt, and put in all the Raspberry Pi stuff and downloaded RetroPie, I believe is what it's called, which
Yep.
has like thousands and thousands and thousands of ROMs, and essentially created like a
Well,
better NES classic.
RetroPie doesn't have all the ROMs, it has all the emulators. You still have to get the ROMs separately, but yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so RetroPie has all the emulation technology. You still have to download every ROM in existence. But that's still like, you could essentially download there like thousands upon thousands upon thousands of games. I like that idea. I wouldn't put it in an NES cartridge. I would make my own box for it.
I mean, if you had a cartridge that was on the garbage end of it because the card got destroyed or whatever, then yeah, I would do that. But to take one that is in good working condition apart, no. By no means no.
Yeah. Because also bear in mind, when you're taking it apart, for taking this apart, it had to fit in not only the card, but all the wires into the NES cart. So that's a lot of hot gluing with not a whole lot of wiggle room in there.
But, I mean, that would still be cool.
Yeah. It looks cool.
Be like, what's that? Well, let me plug it to your TV and I'll show you.
Yeah, because I was trying to remember all the ports on it, because it's that standard pin port for like a PlayStation 3 controller. I forgot. It's a specific pin count connector. It's one of those, an HDMI port, and a couple USB ports. It's got 5 ports on it coming out of the end of the cartridge.
Yeah, and you can make them too where they've just got the USB ports and a HDMI out. Then you could even hook like a 360 controller up to it and it would work.
Yeah.
If I was going to do something like that though, I'd try to get one that had a Bluetooth chip on it. And there is a company that makes a controller that looks like the NES controllers. That's Bluetooth compatible and is compatible with the Switch. I'd just get me one of them.
Yeah. I wish my engineering classes had us using Raspberry Pis. They have us using Nidocs, which apparently are not only less useful than a Raspberry Pi, they're more expensive than a Raspberry Pi for whatever stupid reason. Like, it's an absolute piece of shit. You cannot get current through that goddamn thing. And we were supposed to get a heart rate monitor working on it. It took people days of just grinding the sumbitch out in order to get the damn thing working. It's ridiculous how many hours me and my partner had to put into the damn heart rate monitor to get the damn thing to work. No matter how much wiring and rewiring we had to do to the damn thing in order for it to work. Like, I understand completely that technology is not 100% reliable all the time. But if we have to fiddle with this goddamn thing this goddamn much in order to get this son of a bitch working, fuck this. This should be easier. Or we should be doing an easier thing than this. Just saying. That sucked to put together. Because those Nidocs suck. They really do. I wish we had Raspberry Pis, because I would like to have some experience with those before I spent money on one to try to do a dumb idea. That would essentially mean I could play any classic game in existence, as long as I have the ROM for it. I would say it'd make streaming it easier, but no, they'd make streaming them harder. Because then it'd be through the capture device for it. Instead of just capturing a window on my computer.
Yeah.
So yeah, I hope this is not going to be dumb, but it's probably going to be dumb. Well, and better Nintendo news, kind of.
Not really.
Miyamoto wants to bring Pikmin, Star Fox, and other Nintendo characters to the small screen with anime. We got quotes apparently from the shareholders meeting held today in Tokyo, Kyoto, 29th, so like yesterday, technically. Let's see. Regarding product video, are there plans to bring back past content like Kirby anime on Blu-ray or old games on DD for direct download, I assume, for console mobile? Just a question from a shareholder. Kimishima, who is Nintendo president, said we look into investing towards film. We want to increase opportunities for Nintendo IP and guide consumers with hardware equals software synergy. Regarding Kirby, we'll take your valuable opinion into consideration. By the way, folks, Kirby already has an anime, and so does F-Zero, and I'm not sure why that's not mentioned because they both came out at the same time.
Because which character does Nintendo still make games for?
Oh yeah, Kirby, because Falcon is just one of those people that shows up in Smash.
And Falcon punches his way to victory.
Yep.
I think that's the only reason everyone loves him.
Yeah. Quote from Miyamoto, we hold the Kirby IP and it's growing. Kirby IP and it's growing in Europe. It's selling in Spain, watched in places without gaming hardware. We want to make anime for Pikmin, Star Fox, Yoshi, etc. and distribute it freely and integrate into games. No mention of Detective Pikachu, which, by the way, is still a movie they are fucking making. Ugh.
Well, okay. Truthfully, though, Pokemon isn't directly Nintendo.
Yeah, it's second party-ish, kind of. Look, there's an article out there that details the ownership of Pokemon. Go read it. It makes everything make sense, but it's complicated.
Is it just me, or does it seem like Pikmin's kind of the odd one to have in there?
I think it's because it's Miyamoto's baby at the moment. Like, it's his most recent baby. So that's why he's kind of pushing it, I assume.
And to have Yoshi go into the anime part, are we not going to have to kind of find either a way to keep Mario out or to integrate Mario too? I mean, the Yoshi games have done a good job on keeping Mario out. Mm-hmm. So apparently that's a viable option. Yeah. But still, I just don't know. Not to mention, you know, Nintendo, if you want to distribute anime freely, you might need to focus on getting media apps on all of your consoles first.
That, and maybe talk to some sites called like Crunchyroll and Netflix and the Hulu, because they can distribute TV shows anywhere. Just saying.
Or you know, the funny thing that all three of those you just mentioned have apps on the Wii U. Yeah, you know, I would kind of be fine if they would at least integrate the media apps, because it'd be like, okay, we'll get the virtual console eventually. At this point, though, it's like, okay, we're doing what here? Mm-hmm. And then to see something like this, it's like, okay, you want to go media side, yet you're missing the big picture here, too. Almost feel like Nintendo's got too many irons in the fire at times.
Yeah. Like, Nintendo would work best in animation, I feel like, instead of live action. Just being honest.
The only problem that I can completely foresee with this is look at how Sonic wound up. In recent years, Sonic has done better on the TV side than he has in the game side.
Yeah.
And that's not good. And if Nintendo's wanting to stay in the console business, then that's maybe not an avenue they need to go down.
Yeah.
Because I'm with you, they would fit there, but the same thing can be said about Sega. And they're still trying to pump out games and not doing a good job at that.
Nope.
Like, legitimately, the last two Sonic games we've had. Well, no, Generations came out before Lost World, didn't it? I think it did.
Yes.
So, I mean, I guess you could say the last three have been alright. There's been issues with various parts of the different games, but yeah.
Yeah, I've now learned I can't call Sonic 06 the worst Sonic game in existence. Right now, it would be Sonic Boom. But nope, that's not the worst one anymore. After seeing Seven Rings. Or no, Secret Rings.
Yeah.
No, that's worse. That's far worse.
And Black Knight's not that much of an improvement.
At least it's playable.
It's not that much of an improvement.
I would say playable is a better improvement. Is the big improvement you need to have. It's
one of those that we've got various levels of bad in Sonic games. You've got 06 that it's a good speedrun game. So it's at least got a silver lining on that one.
Mm-hmm.
You got Boom that's just... The only thing you can say about it is have fun with the glitches.
Yeah.
Then you've got the two Why Were These Made games. And I don't think there's a saving grace for either one of them.
Not particularly. Although it sucks that, like, after her initial game, Blaze just keeps being put in bad games. Like, whenever she gets to do something in the game, it's usually a bad game.
Mm-hmm.
Past her initial appearance, because she gets to do stuff in Sonic 06, and it's a bad game. She gets to do stuff in Black Knight, even though it's technically not Blaze, it's Percival? She's not Lancelot, I don't think. Because Shadow's Lancelot. I think she's Percival.
Either way, though.
Still, she does stuff. Still a bad game. I don't think she does anything in Generations, but that's a good game.
She exists in Generations, that's it.
Of course, everyone exists in Generations.
The two Sonics, the two Tails, and the two Eggmans are the only ones that do anything in the entire game.
Yeah, not even Amy gets to do anything. Which might be a good thing.
It is.
Well,
because it's pre-boom Amy.
Yeah. So it's the Amy we're used to.
Mm-hmm.
Not good Amy, which took Sonic Boom to give us.
And it'll take Sonic Forces to get rid of.
Yeah, because then we're back to regular Amy. And then, oh god, are we gonna have so many fucking side characters talking nonsense in our ears during that fucking game? Christ.
That's what's already got me just like, on that game.
Yeah.
When no one can shut up, it's like, oh my god, I liked it better in Generations when no one talked. God, I hope you can turn the voices off.
I hope so too. But any other thoughts on Nintendo anime? Maybe, not really.
Besides the fact that I hope if they go this route, they do it right. No.
I'm still waiting on the day that Detective Pikachu gets a fucking trailer, and I'm just gonna just sit back and just be like, if anyone is surprised this is happening, don't be. This has been a thing for months. Like, my uncle was surprised when he was like, "Oh yeah, Nintendo's doing stuff for Universal Studios, like theme park stuff," and I'm like, "Yeah, I've known that for fucking months." It took till now for us to get anything worthwhile to talk about. But yeah, I've known that for months. So yeah, when Detective Pikachu comes out, folks, and you're surprised, remember, we talked about it here on the show. You just have to go find the episode where we actually talked about it. Like, we've talked about it like 2 podcasts now. This was the original announcement, and then the directors. Or director it got. Oh boy. Well, this isn't get added to the list because I forgot it was Sunday. Well,
Yep.
It starts Sunday.
Yep.
SGDQ 2017 starts Sunday, so prepare to have your sleep schedules obliterated as you try to catch every single run.
Or at least the ones that you want to catch.
Yep.
Which I am going to try to catch that Halo CE run.
Well, it's not like a late in the late one, because they put on Halo late.
I know.
That's prime time. And this is like a 3 o'clock in the afternoon one. And it's the second run of the show. But yeah, starting off on Sunday, we got Nier Automata, which is a fairly new game to be getting the speed run. Halo Combat Evolved, Gunvolt 2, which I'll check out. Diddy Kong Racing, Luigi's Mansion, Metroid Prime, and Symphony of the Night on day 1. Well then. We got an Okami speed run, which will be pretty neat to see how they handle all of the which one's this being played on? Crap, it doesn't say the console. It says Okami HD. Is that the Wii one? Possibly?
I doubt it because the Wii didn't support HD.
Okay, so this might be
SD.
Okay. This might be a later release of Okami. I'm curious how quick they do all of the brush strokes that you have to do in that game. The new Strider, some Adventure Islands, Lion King, Castle of Illusion, some ActRaiser. For those of you who remember Nick Arcade, and that game got played a lot. If you're curious. Oh my god, I've made a Nick Arcade reference now.
Crash and Spyro.
Yeah, and it's old school Spyro. So with the new remakes of the trilogy out, you can see how close it is. Which I found something interesting about those remakes.
Okay.
There is not a single bit of code from the original games in it. It is built, it's brand new from the ground up. And Naughty Dog didn't have anything to do with it. It was a completely different team. Or a completely different studio that handled that one.
Huh.
Yeah, I found out on the Game Informer's podcast when they were talking about it. Because I was also interested in hearing about the new Valkyria game and how not good it was. I also listened to them talk about the trilogy. But yeah, it's brand new code from the ground up, but it still feels like Crash Bandicoot. Like, one of the people on the podcast reviewed the original Crash Bandicoots back in the day, and this feels exactly like it. That is how damn close this is. And I've seen people apparently complaining about how hard it is, and I'm like, Crash Bandicoot, I think, was supposed to be hard. But they've also talked about on there how some of those levels are absolute bullshit, and Naughty Dog and the people from Naughty Dog who made that game admit that some of those levels are bullshit. Like really bad bullshit.
Yeah. Crash always was kind of a hard, shouldn't have happened game.
But they
for
also
certain
did the good
parts.
Yeah, but they also did the good thing of like the improvements that came in 2 and 3 are retroactively applied to the other games. So it's like a consistent experience across all 3 games. And there's a cross-save system, and there's a lot of good stuff there. It's the main thing I'm getting at.
There's not a password system?
No, I don't think so.
Because
God,
that was, for some people, the only way to get past some levels.
No, it's a standard save system, but it's cross-save across all 3 games. It's one save. We also got Freedom Planet, which is really good. It's a really good game. Sonic CD 2011. So a newer version of Sonic CD. And Sonic Generations. And Sonic Colors. And along with Mirror's Edge 1 and 2. And Donkey Kong 64. I might check out those Mirror Edge ones. We also have a Cluster Truck one. I was hearing conversation on Tom Fox's stream about Twitch integration being enabled for that. I kind of want them to do it just for funsies. That, or at least have the developers fuck around with the speedrunner for the game. Damn it.
Oh dear God, there's an I Am Bread.
Yeah, yep. There's also Hollow Knight, which I've been seeing on Sly09's stream, who's been on Ty Tuesday stream a couple times. He does Record Keeper with V Prisoner. Hollow Knight looks pretty good. It's a little 2D Metroidvania-esque style game. Brothers, Tale of Two Sons, Banjo-Kazooie, Pokemon Puzzle League! Proper Pokemon Puzzle League! Oh, hell yeah. I want to watch that again. Puzzle League is one of my... This is one of those games that people probably gonna like, but God, I love that game. Heart Gold, Soul Silver, Half-Life, Dishonored 2, The New Doom, All Secrets, and Half-Life 2. No Scripts, New Engine? Translation? What does that mean?
I don't know.
We also got a Silent Hill 2, Resident Evil 1, and Resident Evil Code Veronica. And an Onimusha game. Ninja Gaiden for the Sega Master System, and Ninja Gaiden 3, so original Ninja Gaiden, not new Ninja Gaiden. Marble Madness, and Bucky O'Hare, and a G.I. Joe game. Castlevania Dracula's Curse, and Rondo of Blood. No Dracula X, I'm sure to Ty's dismay.
Super Meat Boy.
And VVVV. John was talking about Vidi Vidi Vici on VVV when he was playing, what was it? It was some retro style game that got voted on for the cookie on Tuesday. I don't remember what it was called. He was talking about how many tries it took to get Vidi Vidi Vici on him for him. Which also, for those wondering, brings up a really cool thing if you follow his girlfriend Luca Jen, because she doesn't really curse at all, and Vidi Vidi Vici got her the curse because it pissed her off that bad. and killing her that much. Because that's the really hard part of VVVV. And I think it's a bonus area too for a secret. There's video out there. We got Kirby's Dream Land 2 and Curly Planet Robot. And Mega Man X6. Nice. And X2 and X3 and Twilight Princess and then Oblivion.
Oh god.
Wait. Oblivion, wait, 80% no out of bounds. 40 minutes. Does that mean they can't do the duplicate door glitch to beat the game?
I don't know.
Wait, no, you do clip out of bounds for the tutorial, so that means you have to play through the entire tutorial as normal, I think. But I think that counts as out of bounds for that. Maybe not. I don't know. I'd have to watch that. For those that don't know, you can essentially warp to the final cutscenes of the game, because the door that you go through and for the finale of the game is there all the time in Oblivion. You just have to click on it. Literally takes you to the last conversation and then the last cutscene and then the end of the game. Literally in no time flat. Time Toon's adventure game. I'm going to be super old if I make a reference to that. Shadow of the Colossus. Ooh, I want to see that Shadow of the Colossus since we are getting a remake. And a Ratchet and Clank. Oh, hell yeah. And Jack 2.
Marathon Infinity.
Oh my. That might be the first time we've had a marathon game. Oh, shit. Oh, I can't wait for some people to be like, there's a lot of Halo in this game. It's like, yeah, it's made by Bungie. This is what they were doing before they made Halo. Then Prince of Persia, Talos Principle, which is cool because of how kind of intentional you can make the puzzles in that. You can solve some of those puzzles in the game. I don't know if you've caught that. I think last year is the run I'm thinking of.
I did.
Yeah, it's kind of very much in the vein of Breath of the Wild, where you're probably not supposed to solve it this way, but it works. So this might be intentional. Portal Inbounds. I was watching a video talking about the world record for Portal and how it progressively got, or how it progressed. Bionic Commando Rearmed, Chrono Trigger, Mario Kart 64, Mario Kart Wii. More Tetris the Grandmaster nonsense. Prepare to see how, like, not good at Tetris you are, because these people are literally the best Tetris players in the world.
Although the 2-player 1-controller race is going to be interesting.
Mm-hmm. Then we get Link to the Past, All Dungeon Swordless. Then a Zelda 2. And then Link's Awakening, Crypt of Necrodancer. We got a Shantae Half Genie Hero. Wait. Out of bounds? You can get out of bounds in the game? Okay. I need to see that, even though it's a 3 o'clock in the morning marathon or race. Shadow Clan Bucks Remastered, no major glitches. Aww. That game looks fun to break, because apparently they didn't cut out the moving in 3D in a 2D game, which is what happens for Shadow Complex, because it's a 2D Metroidvania game, but everything's in 3D. But if you break the game the right way, you can still move in 3D. So you're doing things the game never intended for you to do. Quite literally. Mega Man 4, Turtles 3, X-Men Mutant Apocalypse, which I think that's the X-Men game I played way back in the day. Yes, it is. Oh my god. I need to see this. That's the SNES one. I remember playing that. Jedi Knight 2, Jedi Outcast, Kingdom Hearts 2, Final Mix, 80% critical. If you watch the Summer of Hearts marathon, go watch BB play Kingdom Hearts 2 better than I ever could. Literally better than I ever could. Like he will, and it's 315. There might be bonuses for the data fights, most likely, to show off the data fights again, and maybe Sephiroth and Terra too. I don't know. All I'm gonna say is, if there's an incentive for the data fights, fucking pay that. Like, help get that raised, because you're gonna want to see those data fights ripped apart. I picked a bad time to want to start the friggin' backlog. Because I would want to show off a couple of those data fights to be like, this is how the data fight is normally, on normal, mind you, and bear in mind, this is on, bear in mind, what he's going to be playing on is critical, which is harder than this. The only data fight I ever beat was Marluxia, and that's because of his gimmick.
And I'm going to put this out here right now. We may be late next week for the show, because I am really interested in that Fusion 0 or 100% run.
Yeah. Yeah, we'd only be like slightly late, depending on how the schedule turns out.
Like, I'm assuming the time limit is for the 100%. Because I would have to think the 0%, you're probably going to be able to do some kind of a, maybe not a game-breaking glitch, but enough of a glitch to bypass certain things. Because if I'm remembering right, Fusion, you have to hit certain triggers. So
maybe. I don't know.
I don't think it's a case of you can warp yourself to the end and be done.
Yeah. After that, we got the Super Metroid, which is a low percent ice race. I think I need an explanation for that one. And then we got Final Fantasy VII, 80% no slots. So none of the slot limit breaks, I guess. I'm not sure. We got Super Hot, which will be pretty cool. That is a interesting game. What?
Super Hot will be pretty cool.
God damn it. Well, the gimmick about that game, for those that don't know, it's a first-person shooter, but time only moves when you move. So you literally get to do action movie stuff in this game, and it's a very neat game. And I'm kind of interested in the speedrun for that. Titanfall 2, Diablo 2, Dark Souls 3, all bosses with DLC 1. Yay! So that doesn't count Ring City, I assume. So you don't get to see the end of the Dark Souls franchise. Let's see, Super Panga World. That is more Tetris stuff, I believe, essentially.
No, I'm wanting to say that's a Super Mario World hack.
It is. Never mind. Oh, goody, it's Super Mario World hack. Then Super Mario 64, all 120 stars. Majora's Mask, all masks. Then set up Block 6, and then Earthbound. I'm seeing something there's missing here.
Okay.
There's no taskbot.
You're right.
I'm not seeing any taskbot shenanigans. Are we not getting taskbot?
Might not be.
I think that's all right, because it might be good to have taskbot like be on break for a while, since I don't know, the Twitch chat one was probably the peak, and I don't think they really captured something like that again. I might be speaking out of my ass there, but I don't think they've really recaptured the magic that was that moment.
It could be a case too that they've got something, but it's just not listed, kind of deal.
It's for one of the setup blocks, which is usually the incentive stuff that you don't hear about until the marathon starts.
Right. It might be one of that kind of deals this time around.
Yeah. Because there's a setup block after KH2 that's 40 minutes. Yeah, if that is not the data fights, I don't know what it would be then. Because, yeah, 40 minutes is the data fights. Because there is a leaderboard for the data fights in Kingdom Hearts. Let me double check that real quick so I can get what the top time is. It sounds like it's 40 minutes. Do, 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 do. Oh, 99, it's far less than that. Yeah, the data fights. Yeah, that'd be less than 40 minutes. So it might be data fights plus Terra and plus Terra. But yeah, if the data fights go up as an incentive, I might pay money for that because I love watching the data fights. I don't think there's any new tech for it though, so it'd be kind of the same thing you've seen before. Depends on if they're running the PlayStation 4 version, whether they have new stuff going on there, or if they're running an older version. They're probably not running the PS3 version, which is what I played for the marathon. It'd be the original PS2 Final Mix. But yeah, a lot of good, cool stuff for GDQ this year. But yeah, it's all starting Sunday at 12:30 p.m. Eastern, 11:30 Central, 10:30 Mountain, 9:30 Pacific. Fucking convert from there, people.
By the way, you're going to be right. Because looking at the runner's time, he got 40 for the level 1 data fights, and his any percent time on critical is... Where'd it go?
It's probably it's around 3 hours.
It's right around that time. Yeah, 3:01:09, and it's more than likely going to be the PS4 version if I had to guess.
I'm not sure they've. It depends.
Well,
the thing is, there's
his time differs by like an hour 45 between the PS3 and PS4 versions.
Yeah,
that's why I'm saying PS4.
Well, the thing is, the PlayStation 4 version has no loading screens, mind you, because it loads so quick they are non-existent. And form changes take twice as long in PlayStation 3 version than they do PlayStation 4. So that's where a lot of the major time changes come from. But there are smaller things that speedrunning wise are better and worse for the PlayStation 4 version. It's weird. So I'm not sure if they will run that or they'll run the original PS2 Final Mix, because that's still an option. They might just run the original PS2 Final Mix or a PS2 version, because we've got 3 versions of this game to work with, folks. And they're all the same outside of the various technical things that have happened because of the porting, because of the port jobs. So
I still think it's probably going to be PS4 because of the timing.
Yeah, it probably will be, because they haven't got to play the PlayStation 4 version for the marathon, and there might be some new. I don't think there's anything new for the run. I don't think. I follow BB and Biz, so And I think I've mostly watched Biz when he's investigated around or been playing 2 Final Mix, because BB's been playing other stuff besides this. Like he's played through Final Fantasy X recently, and he's playing through Persona 5, and those are his first Final Fantasy and Persona games, respectively. I do find it odd that 10 is going to be your first Final Fantasy. But yeah, BB is one of the best KH2 speedrunners out there, so it's going to be a good show no matter what. And like I said, be prepared to see how vast the gap can be from someone who like has played Kingdom Hearts, but someone who knows Kingdom Hearts on a mechanical level. Because there's a wide gap there. And you see how, like, just knowing how the game works without any real big glitches or bugs that make you break sequence. Like, there is no major sequence breaks in the Kingdom Hearts 2 speedrun. There's no major glitches. There's just a really solid understanding of the mechanics of Kingdom Hearts 2, what that does for your gameplay, and how that makes the game, like, just, it looks so good. I'm not sure how else to explain it. I think the only other way to explain it is how I've heard it, and that is to play to speedrun a Kingdom Hearts game, you just have to be good at playing it. There's no real other requirements for it. Yeah, anything else for the GDQ Marathon?
No.
All right. Let's talk releases. Oh, boy. We got a whole bunch of shit. So, kicking things off on the 1st, which technically it is for me.
And it almost is for me.
Yep. We have Beans, the coffee shop simulator for PC. It's a PC title. I expect nothing less. On the 3rd, we've got Escape from Biostation, Redneck Rampage, Possum Bayou, Time to Walk Alone, To the Light, and Twin Roads, all for PC. On the 4th, we've got That's You for PlayStation 4. And Insectophobia, Episode 1. Potenta, Robocutters, SimCube, Time Golf Squad, and Void Wisp, all for PC. That's one of the weirdest PlayStation 4 titles I've ever heard, but alright. Don't think it takes the cake for this week. On the 5th, we've got LEGO Worlds Classic Space for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC. And Bomb Defense, Gold Rush, and the Orc Cloud, Heroes of Paragon, and Slash It Ultimate, all on PC. On the 6th, we've got Call of Duty Infinite Warfare Absolution for PlayStation 4, Toby, The Secret Mind for PlayStation 4, A Day at the Carnival for Wii U, and Reverend Saga for Wii U. 2 Wii U titles. Somehow the damn thing's still getting games. And soon enough, we'll have a Wii release, although I'm not going to report on it because I don't check Wii releases. Because Just Dance 2018 is going to come to fucking Wii as well. Because apparently people still play Just Dance on the Wii.
Well, I mean, motion control.
It's going to be out on everything.
Yeah.
And not everything has motion controls.
Yeah.
Well, we've also got Kirby's Blowout Blast for 3DS and Table Tennis Infinity for 3DS. And on PC, Snake's Tale, Adventure Craft Early Access, Balbus, Mausoleum Episode 1, Oni Fago? What the fuck? That word, don't eat flamingos. Derelict Fleet, Dream Blaster, and Trenches of War for PC. I don't even know how to say that word. On the 7th, we've got Axel World versus Sword Art Online for the Vita. And on PC, Black Robot mini survival game, Chateau Garden, Drawn Love, Eye of Odin Early Access, Grimoire, Heralds of the Winged Exemplar, Heavy Sign Adventures, Horse Racing 2016, Legendary Hunter VR Early Access, Little Red Lie, Mr. Blaster, Sweep, The Heart of the Earth, and Valhalla 2000 Early Access. Sometimes all these PC releases. On the 11th, we have Black the Fall for Xbox One and PlayStation 4, Fable Fortune, which I believe is a Fable card game. Because Fable has been so downgraded so hard, it's now just a card game.
Also, you do realize you've got your dates all jumbled up, right?
Did I? Fuck. Shit. I must have did 8 and 10 out of order. Oops. Well, I'm going to skip that 11th one real quick. Or I might as well finish the 11th one because I'm halfway through it. Hunting Simulator, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Minecraft Story Mode Season 2, Episode 1, Hero in Residence for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Final Fantasy 13, The Zodiac Age for PlayStation 4, which is something I would want eventually. Actually, that's 12, not 13. My bad. No, you're a decent Final Fantasy. You're Final Fantasy Star Wars. For those wondering, their plots are almost identical. Also on PC on the 11th, because I fucked up. I gotta screw something up on the releases every time. You got a Quick Death, Aerial, Break the Cookie, Fable Fortune, Girls and Quiz, Hyper Run, In the Raven's Shadow, The Minecraft Story Mode Season 2, Episode 1, Hero in Radiance and Residence, Solitaire, Cat Pirate Portrait, Survivor VR, and Wild Guns Reloaded. I'll fix that when the article goes live Sunday. I must have scrolled off the 11th when I went down the PCs. That, or I somehow put the 8th. I'm not sure how the fuck that happened. Apparently, I somehow skipped over the 11th one, but I did PCs. On the 8th, we have Hooligan Vaj of Halloween for PC. And on the 10th, all on PC, Antihero, Catacombs, One Demon War, Dawn of the Killer Zombies, Fly Simulator, Gorn Early Access, Just One Line Early Access, Labyrinth Escape, Steampunk Action Battle Simulator, Still Not Dead Early Access, Tomaz, Trophy Fishing 2, and Viral EX. Now, actually going in chronological order, on the 12th, we have Iron Cryptical for Xbox One, and on PC, The End This Night, Tower of Time, and Zombie Blocks. Zombie Blocks? I'm going to say Zombie Blocks. On the 13th, we have Box Up for Wii U, Death Squared for the Switch, Adhesive Cross for the 3DS, and all on PC, Ares World, Boomba, Circuit Wars, Clicky, Dead of Night, Dead Purge Outbreak, Dream Daddy, a dad dating simulator. I didn't read that one before. The fuck? Alright, sure. Exocements, Hardman, Infiltration, Alice Driver 2, Lupus's Infabula, Masked Forces, Zombie Survival, Medalist Puck? I'm going to say Puck. Numberline 2, Think Ahead, Visitors, Marine Invasion. On the 14th, we've got Rogue Stormers for Xbox One and PlayStation 4, Serial Cleaner for Xbox One, World to the West for Xbox One and PlayStation 4, Lily Child of Geos for PlayStation 4, and all on PC, A Goo Adventure, Arian Ball, Battle Girls, Canvas Quest, Dracula's Library, Electronic Circuit Simulator, Fantasy Mosaics 15, Ancient Land, Gollum Creation Kit, Kaiser 2000, Kimulator 2, Brother of Time, My Personal Angel, Neurowac Early Access, Planet and Keurig Chronicles, Planets of War, Quap, Rage Parking Simulator 2017, Rusted Warfare, RXE Early Access, Snip, I assume, Sorcerer's Dream, Torch Cave 3, Vault of Horror, or Vault of Honor, whip the vote, and Wizards home. Ugh. So many PC releases. God.
So many PC releases, so little time.
Yep. All just in time for the Steam Summer Sale.
Not all of them.
Nope. Only like a quarter of the PC stuff. Ugh. I need a drink after that. Yeah, with all that said, that gets us to quick draws, and well, I would talk about the double sequel we're getting if we had any information on it. Yeah, in case you were wondering, if you follow us for writer-related stuff, yeah, Kamen Rider Double's getting a sequel. We don't know in what form or what the sequel is going to entail, but it's a sequel, and it's happening, and we're going to get more information Sunday. Technically Monday, but time zones. But no, I'm going to talk about that new Transformers movie because might as well. Everyone else I follow is talking about it to some extent. So tell me, out of curiosity, what was your last experience with the Transformers film franchise?
I don't remember right offhand.
That's good. Well, I've seen all the Transformers movies. I remember them for the most part. And here in the last night, you want to know what the basic plot of this movie is?
What?
All right, buckle in, because prepare to have just a mound of shit dropped on you. So, after the end of Age of Extinction, where Optimus Prime blasted off, quite literally, to go find his creators, or the creators of the Transformers in general, he ended up on Cybertron, where he found Quintessa, who is this female Transformer person that is able to brainwash him and has the ability to interact with this magic staff that, by the way, is Merlin's staff from ancient, like from medieval times, like Merlin, like King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table Merlin. Yeah, don't worry, that's important. But yeah, she essentially brainwashes Optimus Prime into helping her get this staff in order for Cybertron to be pushed back together, because there's parts of it kind of hanging off in space and it's kind of dead, kind of. But there's another reason she wants to do this, because you remember the Transformers Prime cartoon from the Hub?
Yeah.
You remember the twist that revealed that Unicron's dead body formed the core of the Earth?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're doing that in the movies. Except they don't tell you who the fuck Unicron is. They name drop Unicron 6 times in this movie, but none of them tell you who Unicron is. Literally none of them. I know who Unicron is because I am a Transformers fan. I guarantee you, if I ask anyone in my family who watched this movie who Unicron is, they'll only vaguely know who he is because of something they may have watched that is Transformers. But yeah, she wants to kill Unicron. But if you kill Unicron, you'll kill the Earth. Okay, so we're through there. Well, Mark Wahlberg, aka Cade Yeager in this movie, is decided to be a vigilante that rescues Transformers and protects them from the government, who have put together another task force to kill Transformers, no matter who they are, called the TRF, because Cemetery Wind wasn't enough, so we have another one. So he's doing that. He ends up getting a medallion that turns out to be Excalibur. just spoilers outright, the medallion turns into Excalibur and allows Mark Wahlberg to stop one of the Knight Transformers from medieval times swords from killing Optimus later. Because that's how physics work. Whatever. But yeah, he gets this medallion, and the medallion will apparently lead you to where the staff is. So he gets pulled into Europe with the clan of the Witwickens, which is a thing now that include every fucking historical figure in existence, and Sam Witwicky, in case you forgot that he was a part of this franchise at one point. So him and this professor chick essentially get put into a sub that may or may not be a transformer, along with a headmaster called Cogman, to go to this alien ship that is the final resting place of Merlin. By the way, I think I've described just half of this movie. It doesn't feel like half of this movie, but that's half this movie. Because it's a 2.5-hour film. But while all this is going on, you know what Megatron's doing? Because, by the way, he's alive from the end of Age of Extinction. He's actually negotiating with lawyers the release of a bunch of no-name jobber Decepticons who are just meant to die. Literally. And they get a very Suicide Squad-esque intro into the movie, and it wastes another goddamn 10 minutes of this film. So he does that and, battles with the Autobots, and, shit happens and stuff. Fast forward through all that stuff. They get the staff, but Optimus shows up evil, gets the staff, has it stolen from him by Megatron because he's working with Quintessa because they're bad guys. They work together. Optimus and Bumblebee fight, and apparently Bumblebee gets his voice back out of nowhere, literally, even though they established earlier in the movie that his voice box doesn't work. But he got it back for this one scene to snap Optimus out of his whole dark side, I am Nemesis Prime. That is legit a line he says in this goddamn movie. But yeah, he breaks him out of it. So Optimus is back on the guy's side, and Bumblebee, and then they all get back together, minus the Dinobots, because the Dinobots only show up for like 5 minutes at the beginning of this movie, with miniature Dinobots too, little like dog-sized versions of the Dinobots from Age of Extinction. Those exist. I don't know why they exist. They never explain why they exist, but there's a T-Rex one, a Stegosaurus one, and a Pterodactyl one. They act like babies. Again, I don't know where the fuck they came from. They're just here. So they all meet up to stop the spaceship from draining the life force of Unicron and the Earth into Cybertron, which, by the way, has now impacted with the Earth. Literally impacted with the Earth, but not killed the Earth in the process. No, it's just scraped parts of the Earth, because that's how planet collisions work. And then a big fight rolls out that Optimus Prime takes like 40 minutes to engage, even though he literally blasted off to go fight the battle first. And all of those knights from medieval times, Transformers, they form into this big dragon Transformer, because even though Optimus killed like 2 of them when he came in, and there's only like 12 of them, whatever. They do the battle, they beat Quintessa, they beat Megatron. Both of them are not dead. Quintessa is in hiding on Earth as a human and still wants to kill Unicron. The Autobots save the day. I guess they're heroes again. And that's the end of the movie. Questions? I've literally bored you to tears, haven't I? Tommy? Hello? Tommy? Did I put you to sleep with describing this dumb, stupid movie? Hello? Tommy? Uh-oh. I might be solo at the moment. Yeah, that's last night. I don't care. I don't care about the cinematic universe. Oop, Tommy?
Yeah.
Heard you first. You there?
Yep.
Did you fall asleep on me at some point?
Kind of.
Okay. I pretty much explained the plot of the movie in less than 2.5 hours. It's a whole bunch of mess and nonsense, and I feel the same way I felt coming out of Amazing Spider-Man 2, where they're trying to set up all this different stuff for all of these future movies because they're trying to build a cinematic universe, but I don't give two fucking shits about your cinematic universe because you can't make one goddamn movie I'm interested in at this point, so I don't care. What I want is a Transformers movie, not set up for 5 of them. God, I don't care. I am done. The only reason I went with this is because we were fogging the house and we were going to go watch the movie, and my family wanted to go see the movie, and I'm like, I knew this movie wasn't going to be good. I saw reviews for it that said the movie wasn't going to be good, and lo and behold, the movie's not good. I don't care. I want the Transformers movie franchise just to end. I want it to end. I want it to get better or end because I don't care either way. Like, we are 5 movies in. We have a Bumblebee movie next year, and then Transformers 6, and then maybe a G.I. Joe crossover at some point with the G.I. Joe movies, which, you remember those movies? Yeah, those movies. We're going to have a crossover with those movies, and then maybe the rest of the Hasbro properties that might fit in this stupid bullshit universe. I'm done. I'm just done. I don't care. I don't want to see another Transformers movie ever again. Like, I'm not angry. I'm just bored and tired. That is the best way I can sum up my experience watching last night. And then they have the fucking gall to say that the Bumblebee movie is going to be the Iron Giant of the Transformers franchise. Fuck you. The Iron Giant has more character in its movie than any of your 5 godforsaken films put together. Fuck off. Don't fucking make that claim. Don't even begin to make that claim. So yeah, that's the last night, folks. Tommy, go.
Well, mine's just a shout out to the leaderboard for ARMS on speedrun.com. Just kind of plugging it. If you're interested in trying to hop into speedrunning, honestly, this and Mario Kart 8 would give you a good taste of it because there's not that much tech behind them. Mainly because Mario Kart 8, I mean, not much to that one. Not in the Switch version, and then ARMS, it's still a new game, so it's more of a learning experience at this point. But yeah, that's kind of about it. I don't have much else to say besides that.
Oh, one thing I'd rather mention about last night is I was reading TFW 2005's boards, and someone was explaining a bunch of the things that weren't explained in the movie because they got explained in an app. You know what I have to say to someone who tells me that about a movie I just watched? I want to show them a quote from an SF Debris review. I believe it's his review of the 2009 Star Trek film. If it's not in the movie, it doesn't count. I don't care. If you didn't put it in the movie, it doesn't count. I don't need to want to go to an app to figure out what the fuck I just watched on a movie. Just saying. At least I'll have X8 back. Or not back, but I'll have X8 this week, and it'll be good to watch. I know the end of Amazon's won't be. Super won't be, because, yeah, I found out that the last fight of that show that they've been building up to, yeah, they don't show it. Your big climactic fight, and you don't even show it. That's bad. God damn it, Amazons. I pray no one attached to Amazons is attached to this double sequel, because I'm going to cry at seeing Double get turned into that. But you got anything else?
No.
All right. We'll be back in 2 weeks with more talking about video games and not video game things. And whatever other nonsense is there to talk about in 2 weeks. But until then, that'll do it for me and for Rampant Epsilon. Good night, everybody.